All around France, protesters are organizing marches and memorials to commemorate the far-right activist Quentin Deranque, who was beaten to death weeks earlier in Lyon. But who was Quentin? How exactly did he die? And why are some people calling his death France's Charlie Kirk moment? Quentin Deranque was a 23-year-old college student studying mathematics at the University of Lyon. According to media outlets, he had recently converted to Catholicism and had been involved with some of Lyon's far-right organizations. In recent years, Lyon has become something of a hotbed of political activity, with some calling it the capital of France's radical far-right. In response, there has also been a rise of radical left-wing groups, creating a zone of extreme political tension that occasionally results in violence. On the evening of February 12th, a lecture was being held at University Sciences Po Lyon by the far-left party, La France Insoumise. As the lecture was taking place, the right-wing feminist group Collectif Nemesis, or Nemesis for short, began protesting outside the event. Quentin Deranque was apparently working as security for these protesters. At some point, fights broke out around where the Nemesis supporters were located. What exactly happened next is unclear, but some minutes later, there was a clash between a group of leftists and rightists near a railway a few hundred meters from the university. Eventually, the leftists got the upper hand, and the right-wingers were dispersed. But 3 of them weren't able to get away. The leftists continued to beat these men even after they had become incapacitated. One of these 3 men was Quentin Deranque. Quentin was then taken to the hospital, suffering severe injuries to the body and head. He remained alive for a few more days, but unfortunately, he passed away on February 14th from major traumatic brain injury. Video of the beating was shared to social media and went viral around France. It was evidence of just how badly France's political divide had become. Quentin himself became a martyr for the French alt-right, one of their own, killed by the radical left for his beliefs. 11 people were eventually arrested in the investigation of Quentin's death, but these arrests only brought more controversy. The suspects had links to the leftist militant group La Jeune Garde Antifasciste, which was banned by the French government in 2025 for its promotion of violence. The group had been co-founded by a prominent Insoumis politician, Raphael Arnaud. On top of that, 2 of the men had previously worked for Arnaud, with one man even having served as one of his parliamentary assistants. This allowed the French right to link La France Insoumise to Quentin's murder. Like the murder of political activist Charlie Kirk in the United States, the killing of Quentin Deranque became a symbol of the rise of political violence. Although, unlike Charlie, Quentin was not famous at the time of his death, memorials, protests, and counter-protests in his name soon quickly sprang up around the nation. Lyon, Rennes, Versailles. France's National Assembly even held a moment of silence. The largest right-wing party in France, Le Rassemblement National, has used the incident to frame the LFI as the promoters of political violence in the country.
L'extrême gauche a tué, et avant de rentrer évidemment dans ce qui est le fond d'une affaire extrêmement grave et un point de bascule dans notre pays, je voudrais évidemment avoir une pensée pour Quentin.
Others have used Quentin's death to stress the need for tolerance in France. President Emmanuel Macron said, "This is a moment of remembrance and respect for this young compatriot who was killed, for his family and loved ones. That must come first." However, his own Prime Minister, Sébastien Lecornu, has been much more abrasive, directly criticizing La France Insoumise in the National Assembly.
La vraie question, au fond, Madame la Présidente, c'est pourquoi tout le monde doute de votre sincérité et pourquoi personne ne veut vous croire? Tout simplement parce qu'il est temps que vous fassiez le ménage, Madame la Présidente Panot. Le ménage dans vos propos, le ménage dans vos idées et surtout le ménage dans vos rangs.
For their part, La France Insoumise has categorically denied any responsibility and has refused to remove Arnaud from their party. But the outrage has even spread outside of France, receiving a mention from the American State Department on X. Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni called the event a wound for all of Europe. On the 26th of February, nationalist protesters even held a rally in the Netherlands, violently clashing with anti-fascist counter-protesters. From the 11 men arrested, 6 of them have been charged with intentional homicide, aggravated violence, and criminal conspiracy, and 1 with complicity in intentional homicide, aggravated violence, and criminal conspiracy. As this case moves to trial, there is no doubt that France will be watching closely, trying to understand the political future of their country.